Alright, this is just a quick video talking about how we sourced some of our free materials that we used in our tiny house. Our whole total build was only $20,000. So in order to get our build to be as cheap as it was, we used a lot of free materials. Luckily, Patrick's in the construction industry, and he was able to get a lot of these that were just left over from different jobs that were going to get put in the skip. Some of these involved hooks, some of them were bolts and screws and things. There was a little bit of work that it took to get them out of their plastic casing, but we did that, and we used every single one of these screws in the tiny house. It really saved us a lot of money and time in the beginning because Pat had a whole selection of things he could use just to get started right off the bat. If you're not in the construction industry, ask a friend who is, or just be willing to ask and go up to a construction site. So these are some storage bins that we found, and we were able to repurpose into a entertainment center for our TV, and also we used one of them in the kitchen. This is some free rimu we were given, and Patrick made a butcher block table out of the recycled rimu, and it came out really beautiful. Really beautiful hardwood. Here's some insulation that Patrick was able to get as well from a construction site. They put it in the wall and had to take it out, and they were going to throw it all away. So he quickly was able to put it in some garbage bags and brought it home. This really helped us too. Insulation is so expensive in New Zealand. We also kept an eye on Facebook for free insulation that people were giving away after projects, and we were able to mostly completely use free insulation inside of the tiny house. I think we had to buy one bag from Bunnings, so we spent like maybe $50 on insulation for the entire build, so we were very fortunate. We took any insulation, including llama fur, wool, pink bats, orange bats, all sorts. So this is some of the vinyl that Patrick was able to get from a job site that was left over. We had to cut it into small pieces. And now going on to some of the wood that he was able to get from that was going to get burned. We think it was originally a fence. It looks like a lot here, but once you start trimming down all the uneven ends and the sides and clean it up, as you can see here, you have to rip off quite a bit of the wood in order to get it to lay flat and even on the wall. But it was still enough for us to do a whole feature wall in the tiny house, and I think it turned out really good and really helps with making the illusion of depth in the tiny house, which is really key when you're working in such a small space. So we brad nailed all of that wood up behind our insulation, and it continues on into the kitchen a little bit. And I think it turned out really nice. We had a tiny bit left over in the kitchen, as you can see. This is the feature wall, and then we also had a bit of bits and pieces left over from the whole build. We were able to use that in the bathroom to just help finish off the wall, and then also on the ceiling in the bathroom because we just had a little gap that we just weren't quite able to fill with corrugated. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already, and we really appreciate your guys' support. Stay tuned for next Tuesday's video, when hopefully we'll be able to show you guys a bit more about our new build and the progress that we've seen down there. Alright, thanks so much. Bye guys.